The letter R in French with FrenchSpanishOnline.com is not the easiest letter to pronounce in French, as the sound doesn't exist in many languages. First, when the letter R is not said in French. Let's see some example. When the letter is at the end of a word after the vowel E, so we have a couple of letters ER, we don't pronounce the letter R in this case, we just say E instead. So that's the case for the verbs which infinitive ended in ER. For example, to sing we say chanter, manger, to eat, aller, to go. It is the case for words like cahier, notebook, boulanger, the baker, papier, paper. But we've got some exceptions, of course, as usual in French, and the list is large, so we are going to see some examples. For example, yesterday we say hier, so in this case we pronounce the letter R at the end. Hiver, winter. Mer, the sea. Chair, deer. Fer, the metal, iron. So let's see now when we say it. Actually, it's more or less strong depending on two things: where the letter R is in the word, at the beginning, at the end, or in the middle, and it depends on your French accent, as we don't pronounce the letter R exactly the same way in the north and the south of France. So first, let's see how is your mouth. Here we have a nice drawing of your mouth, and we have some informations we have to take into account to pronounce the letter R the French way. First, you open your mouth. Second, your tongue touch your teeth just here, as you can see on the drawing. You can do it listening the video. And finally, the gap between your palate and your tongue is reduced just here. Well, it's not very easy to feel that the gap is small this way. Okay, it's easier actually to understand how to put your tongue to touch your teeth. So remember that and put everything in order into your mouth. Thanks to this drawing, now we are going to see what we have to do to pronounce the letter R. We are going to roar like a dog. So first you have your mouth opened, you have your tongue just touching your teeth, and now we are going like a dog to pronounce the letter R. You know, when a dog is not very happy. This is the letter R in French. Exaggerated, of course, but this is a good start. We have this roar. But as you can hear, in this roar we've got a vowel. If we want to say now the same roar but with no vowel, what we call a dry air in French, we will say okay, so here as you can see we have two R, the roar this way, and we are going to use this pronunciation when the R is followed by a vowel, but when it is at the end of a word or when it is just after a vowel, we are going to use the dry R. It's exaggerated, okay, we understand it, and we need to make some effort actually to shorten the letter R and to get just the R. But it's not easy to practice the letter R alone. So we are going now to practice using some French words. First, the word repos. Repos means a rest, to have a rest in French. Repos. So here we have the letter R at the beginning followed by a vowel. So we don't use the dry R, but the first one we just sing. So we are going to roar again and to add the rest of the word. So repos, 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 un repos, un repos, un repos. Let's start again. Repos, 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 un repos. And we have the French pronunciation. Let's see another example with the word car. This word means bus in French. This time the letter R is at the end after a vowel, so we are going to use our dry R. So here we say car, 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 un car. Again, car, 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 un car. Another example now is more R. So here, to watch, regarder, we have two R. So you know, because it's a verb that we don't pronounce the last R, we just say et, regarder. But we have one at the beginning, followed by a vowel, and a second just after a vowel. So here we have our first R, and the second is the dry R. So we are going to roar like a dog. R, r, r. The second syllabus we have gare, gare, gare with our dry R. So we have regard, regard, regarder, 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 regarder. Okay? Practice it again, of course, if you want to have more time. It's new, as we said. This sound doesn't exist in many languages. And finally, let's see how to pronounce Wednesday in French. Here we have two R. The first one of the word is after a vowel, so it will be a dry R. And we have the letter R after a consonant. So the first part, actually the first syllabus of the word is easy to understand, because it's also the meaning mer is also the sea. So we can pronounce it apart. Mer, 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 shortening the letter R. But it is dry R. Mer, 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 mer. The second syllabus with the C, so we have the letter R, so we can say R, but we need the letter R, the letter C before. So cre, 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 cre. Mercredi, 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 mercredi. Okay? So let's see this example again and again, and if you want, you can send me some MP3 or some audio files with your voice pronouncing and these words, and you will have a look what we can do. Of course, you can go now to FrenchSpanishOnline.com if you want to read the script of this lesson, because now c'est fini. Thank you very much for watching these slides with me. Au revoir.